What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to ag.speaks. If this is your first time, welcome to the channel. If you're a returning member, appreciate you for coming back. You're helping out the channel a lot. And actually, I want to talk to y'all about the importance of being patient, but not waiting on anything or anyone. Now, when I say to be patient, but don't wait on anything or anyone, I know it sounds a little bit contradictory. And y'all might be thinking, how can you be patient, but at the same time, you're not waiting on somebody? And that might be confusing to some people. And some of y'all might know exactly what I mean if you've already walked this type of path as far as being ambitious and going for what you want and working day in and day out on your goals and dreams. And when I say be patient, but don't wait on anybody or anyone, it's a very fine line between the two things. Being patient and waiting they sound similar, but they're not. They're not the same thing. They're not the same thing at all. Being patient is like this. You have a goal, right, that you have in mind, that you've had in your mind for however long. It could be yesterday, a week ago, a month ago, right? If you're working towards something, when you're working towards something for such a long time, or if you're working towards something for a certain amount of time, even if it's not that long, maybe let's say even a week, because people fall off from stuff even after a week. Let's say if you're working on something for any amount of time, right? People will fall off from it just because of their lack of patience. Patience is a virtue, but people have a lack of patience. So when you don't have any patience, as soon as you work on something, as soon as you don't blow up instantly or get success instantly, you fall off from it, and then you forget the whole reason why you started in the first place. And now I don't want to say you failed, but you didn't do what you said you were going to do. Like, you failed the task. You failed the mission. You know what I mean? You started off very ambitious. You started off excited. You started off with the right energy. You started off with all the right thoughts in mind as far as being diligent in your work. But then as soon as you start something and you don't get the result you want, you quit because you lack patience. You have to have patience. Now, on the opposite side of that, because the video is called Be Patient, but don't wait on anybody or anything or anyone. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting my own video. That's the person that I just spoke about. It's the person that works on something but quits really fast. So you didn't wait on anybody, but you quit on yourself. Then it's the other person who won't even start something because they're waiting on something to happen. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if they're waiting on a certain amount of money. I don't know if they're waiting on a certain circumstance, or they could be waiting on a person. They could be waiting on a boyfriend or a girlfriend. They could be waiting on a family member to help them out. They could be waiting on a miracle for somebody to come get them this magical money that they think is going to fall out the sky. People could be waiting on stuff. Now, waiting on something is very, very different than being patient, because when you're working on something, you're still being patient for the outcome that you want. So you keep on working because you're patient. You keep on grinding because you're patient. Then it's this person over here who they're not even patient. They just are waiting on people. You know what I'm saying? They're just waiting on a magical situation to happen. When you sitting here waiting on a magical situation to happen, the situation might never come. So then if the situation never comes, you never started working on what you supposed to start working on. So now you just stuck in the same place for years and years and years. And that's what happens to a lot of people. I feel like more people are on this side than on this side. And like I said, this side is the patient side, like the side where people just lack patience. This side over here is the side that's just waiting on somebody, and they don't even start working to even build any patience. This side over here, I feel like is the majority, okay? Now, I feel like this side over here is like this. When you sit and wait on somebody, you literally don't have any type of motivation at all, because you're sitting and waiting on somebody. You're not building up any confidence. You're not building up any stamina as far as working on something. When you are in that type of situation, you're never going to move anywhere in life. You're going to stay exactly where you are. When you look at people and you wonder how they've been in the same position for forever, like they could be 60, 70 years old, still at the same place and still complaining about the same things. It's 9 out of 10 because they had that mindset where they were just waiting on something magical to happen. They just feel like their life was just going to naturally go good. And it's nothing wrong with feeling like your life can naturally go good, but you have to put in work as well. When you put in work, then you open yourself up for things to happen for you. You know what I mean? I believe in powers outside of ourselves. I don't feel like everything falls on us. I do believe in God and other forces in life, which I've spoken about on this channel before. But I do feel like you have to put yourself in position to open yourself up for those type of situations that happen. Now, are there miraculous things that happen to people who may not have done anything? Of course. In this world, anything can happen. Crazy things have happened, so I understand. But at the same time, I'm not the type that wants to find out. I can't sit around and wait for it to happen to me, because I might not be that lucky. And next thing I know, I'm looking back on life like, man, what did I do with my life? That's my biggest fear, bro. Is to be grown and just regretting everything that I did because I didn't do anything that I set out to do. That's a very big fear of mine, and I feel like everybody should have that as a fear. Everybody should be scared of that. When people say, I'm not scared of nothing, I don't like those type of people. You should be scared of something. And my biggest fear is that I have to do what I set out to do. If I don't, I'm gonna feel like, why was I here in the first place? You know? Excuse me. I'm gonna feel like, why was I here in the first place? I didn't do anything I set out to do. I had all these goals and dreams since I was a kid. And that's a fun fact about me. A lot of the dreams and goals that I have right now, I've had my whole life. Like, I'm not one of those people who had to like grow up and find like who I wanted to be, or like find what I was good at. Like, my whole life I knew exactly what I was gonna do. Now, as far as content goes and YouTube and stuff like that, that came a little bit later. But even then, I was dabbling with that as a teenager. So everything I kind of did, I already kind of had, like, I already kind of seen myself doing everything I'm doing now. So it's kind of, you know, but I just feel like everybody should learn something from what I'm saying right now, because I don't think enough people think about what I'm saying right now. You cannot wait on anything, man, or anybody to start doing what you need to do to bring your goals and dreams to life, because people are not waking up thinking about your goals and dreams, bro. I'm telling you this. People are not waking up in the morning saying, oh, I wonder what Bob is doing. I wonder if Bob is putting in that work for his dreams and goals today. Unless it's your parents, nobody's doing that. Nobody's like, oh man, my goal and dreams in life is for Bob to make his goals and dreams. Nobody does that, bro. People are focused on their own life. People got their own jobs, their own bills, their own families, their own everything. People got their own lives to deal with, man. And it's like when you can't really understand that and realize that, you're gonna be at a far worse disadvantage, because you're not making any steps towards your purpose. And that's another thing. When you're not walking in your purpose, you become a miserable person because you feel like life is empty. That's why when people go to work, when people have jobs, when people go into and they clocking in to places they don't want to clock into, that's why they're so mad and miserable. When you go to people's places of business and you see these people working, they always have like attitudes. They get mad. Now, there's some people out there, some people out there who are very good spirited and have good energy and stuff like that. But most people who work, most people who are doing something they don't want to do, they're miserable people. They're mad at the world. They're not happy, and you don't want to be that person. You will end up being that person by not walking in your purpose. And walking in your purpose don't mean that it's going to happen overnight. Walking in your purpose don't mean it's going to happen next week, next month, maybe not even next year. But you have to walk in your purpose, and eventually you will get to where you want to go if you really are passionate and serious about it. And when you really walking in your purpose and you really find value in what you're doing, you will never get tired to just fall off or to just stop. You have to stop looking at things like, oh, I'm just doing it for the money. Because when you're just doing it for the money, it's not enough motivation to keep going, because money doesn't come instantly when you're starting your own thing. And that might be a topic for a whole nother video, so I'm not going to get too deep into that. But I just wanted to let y'all know, y'all have to stop waiting, and y'all have to be patient at the same time. I know it sounds crazy, but that's really how it is. And once you can find that combination and find that balance for the combination, you'll be off to a way better start, man. You'll have a way better outlook on your whole life, a way better outlook on the work that you're putting in. And you won't feel so ready to quit, and you won't feel so ready to wait. So I just feel like if you get to a point where you can find that balance, you'll be well off, man. You'll be off to a great start, and you'll have great years to come. So I appreciate everybody for watching. I hope this helps somebody out. Anybody who have any ideas about anything they want me to talk about, you can comment down below. And other than that, I have nothing else to say, man. I'm gone.